Before you trust someone, watch what happens when you stop giving them what they want. That one moment can reveal more about a person than years of conversations ever could. Because almost anyone can be kind when they need you. Almost anyone can listen when they want something from you. Almost anyone can promise loyalty when they are afraid of losing your attention. But take away the benefit, say no, set a boundary, become unavailable, and suddenly you may meet a completely different person. This is where most people make their biggest mistake. They judge character by how someone treats them when everything is going well. They listen to beautiful words. They believe promises. They become attached to attention and mistake it for genuine care. But words are easy. Consistency is not. And if you want to know whether someone truly respects you, don't watch how they behave when you agree with them. Watch what happens when you don't. Say no, not angrily, not disrespectfully. Just no. A healthy person may be disappointed. They may not like your decision. They may even need time to process it. But they will still respect it. A manipulative person will do something completely different. They will make you feel guilty. They will question your love. They will remind you of everything they have done for you. They may suddenly become cold. They may withdraw their affection. They may say, "I thought you cared about me." And if you are not careful, you will start defending a boundary that never needed defending in the first place. Remember this: your no is not an insult. Your boundary is not an attack. Your independence is not betrayal. You are allowed to decide what you give, when you give it, and how much of yourself you are willing to give. The person who truly values you will understand that. The person who only values what they can get from you will fight it. And that reaction matters. Because people often reveal their true intentions when they lose control over the outcome. As long as you are saying yes, everything feels peaceful. As long as you are available, they are warm. As long as you are giving, they are grateful. But the moment you stop giving, their behavior changes. That's the moment you need to pay attention. Not because every negative reaction means someone is a bad person. People are human. They get disappointed. They become emotional. They make mistakes. The real question is what they do with those emotions. Do they communicate or manipulate? Do they accept your decision or punish you for making it? Do they respect your freedom or try to make you afraid of using it? That difference can tell you everything, because someone can be upset with you and still respect you. Someone can disagree with you and still love you. Someone can feel disappointed and still maintain their dignity. So don't judge the emotion. Watch the behavior that follows the emotion. That's where character appears. And once you understand this, you will stop feeling guilty for having boundaries. You will stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to respect your answer. You will realize that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to build a courtroom around it. You don't have to present evidence. You don't have to convince someone that your boundary is reasonable. The people who respect you may not always agree with you, but they will respect your right to choose. And that is one of the clearest signs that trust can grow. But there is another mistake people make. They give trust based on potential. They say, deep down, they're a good person. Maybe they are. But your relationship isn't built on who someone could become. It's built on who they repeatedly choose to be. You cannot build peace on potential. You cannot build trust on promises that never become actions. And you cannot build a healthy relationship by constantly explaining away unhealthy behavior. Look at the pattern. One bad day doesn't define someone. One mistake doesn't define someone. But repeated behavior tells a story. If someone breaks your trust once and takes genuine responsibility, that's one thing. If they break it repeatedly, apologize repeatedly, promise repeatedly, and change nothing, that's something else. At some point, you have to stop listening to the apology and start watching the pattern. Because an apology without change is only a pause between repetitions. And this is where wisdom becomes necessary. You don't need to become suspicious of everyone. You don't need to walk through life believing everyone is trying to hurt you. That's not wisdom. That's fear. Wisdom is different. Wisdom says, I will keep my heart open, but I will not turn off my eyes. You can be kind without being naive. You can forgive without forgetting the lesson. You can love someone without giving them unlimited access to you. And you can walk away without hatred. Sometimes walking away isn't punishment. It's protection. It's choosing peace over proving a point. It's realizing that you don't have to stay in every relationship simply because you once cared about the person. Trust should never be demanded. It should be earned, slowly, quickly, through consistency. So before you trust someone deeply, don't rush. Don't let chemistry make the decision. Don't let loneliness make the decision. Don't let someone's beautiful words make the decision. Observe. Watch how they react when you say no. Watch whether their kindness survives disappointment. Watch whether their respect disappears when they don't get their way. Because anyone can behave perfectly when life gives them exactly what they want. The real test begins when it doesn't. And once you learn to watch that moment, you will start seeing people differently, not with suspicion, with clarity. And clarity can protect you from relationships that your emotions alone would never let you leave. But there is one more sign you need to watch before you give someone your deepest trust. Watch how they treat people who cannot benefit them. Not the person they want to impress, not the person they fear, not the person who has money, influence, beauty, or status. Watch the person who has nothing to offer them. Watch how they speak to a stranger. Watch how they treat someone who serves them. Watch how they behave around someone they believe is beneath them. Because when someone wants something from you, you may be seeing a performance. But when they believe they have nothing to gain, you may finally see their character. A person can be charming with powerful people and cruel with powerless people. They can speak about respect while humiliating someone who cannot fight back. They can tell you they value kindness while treating strangers with contempt. And if you ignore that because they are nice to you, you're not seeing the whole person. You're only seeing the version they decided to show you. That's why charm should never be confused with character. Charm can attract you. Character determines whether you should trust someone. And character becomes visible when there is no reward for showing it. Think about the person who constantly tells you other people's secrets. They may make you feel special because they trust you with information. But ask yourself a deeper question. If they can casually expose someone else's private life to you, what makes you believe your private life will remain safe with them? People often tell us who they are without realizing it. They reveal themselves through small choices, through how they talk about people who aren't present, through how they react when they are criticized, through how they behave when they lose control, through how quickly they blame others, through how they treat people who cannot say no to them. You don't have to interrogate someone. You don't need to become a detective. You simply need to observe. And sometimes the truth is uncomfortable because we don't actually want to see it. That's another reason people trust the wrong person. Not always because the other person is an extraordinary liar. Sometimes because we desperately want the relationship to be real. We see what we hope is true. We hear what we want to hear. We explain away warning signs because accepting them would force us to make a difficult choice. We say, maybe they'll change. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe this was the last time. And sometimes, maybe it was. But if the same behavior keeps returning, eventually the excuses become more dangerous than the behavior itself. Because when you repeatedly ignore a pattern, you are not protecting the relationship. You are protecting an illusion. And wisdom means being brave enough to choose reality. See people as they are, not as you wish they were, not as they promised they would become, not as you remember them from their best moments. Look at who they consistently choose to be. That's the person you are actually dealing with. If they repeatedly disrespect your boundaries, believe the pattern. If they repeatedly betray confidence, believe the pattern. If they repeatedly treat powerless people badly, believe the pattern. If they repeatedly hurt you, apologize, promise change, and then repeat the same behavior, believe the pattern. You don't need revenge. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to prove to everyone that they were wrong. Sometimes the strongest response is simply changing their access to you. Because not everyone deserves the same level of access. Some people deserve your kindness. Some deserve your cooperations. Some deserve your friendship. Very few deserve your vulnerability. And even fewer deserve your deepest trust. That isn't arrogance. That's discernment. Your trust has value because when you trust someone, you give them access to parts of you that cannot easily be replaced. Your time, your energy, your weaknesses, your dreams, your fears, your loyalty, your peace. So don't give those things away simply because someone knows how to say the right words. Let time reveal them. Let disappointment reveal them. Let pressure reveal them. Let boundaries reveal them. And above all, let consistency reveal them. Because eventually, everyone tells you who they are. Sometimes they tell you through their words, but more often, they tell you through their choices. And when words and behavior don't match, don't argue with the behavior. Believe what you consistently see. That doesn't mean becoming bitter. It doesn't mean closing your heart. It doesn't mean trusting nobody. The lesson is not never trust people. The lesson is trust wisely. Keep your heart open, but keep your eyes open too. Be generous, but don't abandon your boundaries. Forgive, but don't forget the lesson. Give people opportunities, but don't give endless opportunities to repeated disrespect. And remember something that can save you years of confusion. A trustworthy person will never require you to destroy your peace just to prove your loyalty. The right people will not fear your boundaries. They will respect them. They will not need control over you. They will value your freedom. They will not only be kind when you are useful. They will treat people with dignity even when there is absolutely nothing to gain. And when you understand that, something changes inside you. You stop chasing people's approval. You stop trying to force relationships to work. You stop being hypnotized by beautiful words. You start watching patterns. You stop asking, how much does this person say they care about me? And you start asking the question that actually matters. How does this person behave when caring about me costs them something? That question can change the way you see everyone around you, because affection can be performed, promises can be rehearsed, words can be manipulated. But consistency is difficult to fake forever, so slow down. You don't owe anyone instant trust. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your life. And you don't owe anyone your peace simply because they demand your loyalty. Let people show you who they are. Then believe them, not with anger, not with hatred, with clarity. Because the goal is not to become someone who trusts nobody. The goal is to become someone who knows exactly where trust belongs. A naive heart trusts everyone. A wounded heart trusts nobody. But a wise heart observes first. It gives trust slowly. It watches actions. It recognizes patterns. And when the evidence is clear, it has the courage to act. So remember the two things. Watch how someone reacts when you say no. And watch how they treat people who have nothing to offer them. Those two moments can reveal more than 1,000 promises. Because when someone respects your boundaries and respects people who cannot benefit them, they are showing you something far more valuable than words. They are showing you character. And character is where real trust begins.